Right, welcome to Heto and Seva Uncharted, lockdown version. Seva, how's lockdown, pal?
How you going, Heto? No, lockdown's pretty good, as you just saw, just before Jeff hit the magic button. Yeah, lockdown's good, we're all in it together, and yeah, thank God we can do something like this.
Yeah, so we did want season 2 obviously back in studio, but with all the lockdown that's happening, we've decided to, with Jeff, to try this new way of recording a podcast, and we're going to give it a crack. We're going to do a few episodes, opinion pieces, just quick 20-minute, half-hour opinion pieces, and do a bit on stuff you did overseas and that, and we're going to get some different guests on to throw their opinion out moving forward.
That's it, correct, eh? We'll get it all going like this, and I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty successful. So what we'll do is we can always do it remotely. Once we start off in the studio, we can always do like weekly opinions and stuff, results and all sports. And
there's been a lot of sport happening, so we might get into it. But again, this podcast can't happen without some really good sponsors. As you can see, how good do we look in the background here? Our friend from Real Sociedad, Matt Ryan, in the background. So, mate, we can't thank you guys enough. Thank you. And you'll know Jeff from our season 1 as Jeff Lambert. He's now Sensor Studios. So he started a new company called Sensor Studios. So if you need any live streaming, podcasting, videography, photography needs, he's your man. And we'll share some stuff on our socials about Jeff. So again, he's the man that keeps us doing what we're doing, Seva. So and he's hit record at the right time too, hasn't he?
Yeah, I bet he did.
All right, so look, lockdown. How is lockdown treating you, mate? I know you've literally 3 days into lockdown where you can't get to work at all. So you've gone from, I'm going to use Jeff here, you've gone from the best lay in Sydney to no laying at all. Yeah.
No laying is getting done at all at the moment, guys. I have done a deck. I've extended the front deck at home. Yeah. I thought it would take me 3 or 4 days. I knocked it over in one. Yeah, just look, we can't do anything at the moment. We just got to sit on our hands and just try and keep busy.
Yeah, well, my jokes are falling flat. The family's over me proper, so I'm not sure we're going to get through lockdown as a family of 5 anymore. There might be a couple go missing at any point, but let's see how we go. Now, Seva. We threw out a multi a few weeks ago, Italy into Argentina, and we did cop a bit of flack for it. All our Pommy fans and that got stuck into us, but guess what? It won. Now, we also got on Italy early, yeah? Yes. We got on Italy at the start of the tournament and said they'd win. So
$11, was it? No.
$11 we got on it. So, and our predictions were right. Now, you played in Italy for a long time. Were you confident leading into it that that's the football they play?
Yeah, especially with the team. I think if you go back to 2006, they were a team of stars, and I think history pretty much prevails when you don't have to manage 23 egos in the space of 7 games. You can actually go through tournaments unscathed, and if everyone's pulling in the right direction. And I think that's what happened here with Italy. Yeah, they may not have played the prettiest football at times, but I think managing only a couple of egos, like I think Mancini has done compared to the England team, I think it's worked out wonders, to be honest.
But in actual fact, I did think England did pretty well with the squad they got, right? And they were very young, right? So moving forward, they're going to probably be a force at the World Cup again, yeah?
100% they will be. But in saying it, no matter what you do in life, whether it's, trying to be the best layer in the world, you need luck. You really do need luck, and you need you need to be able to feel fresh at the back end of tournaments. And I think the Italians have done that. Like don't forget they went through a couple of sudden death games as well. Both teams.
Yeah. And look, and to be fair, the fans have carried on like pork chops at the end of that tournament. The way they carried on to the 3 guys that took the pens. You can't get Rashford to take a pen after kicking a ball for 30 seconds. Yeah, it's not. Like, that's not fair, yeah. And same as Sancho, right?
Well, the thing is, after the extra time, we weren't in the huddle. We don't know if anyone put their hand up. We don't know if they were forced. Especially a 19-year-old to kick the
Stood up. But he stood up, right?
He stood up. So, but look, I'll ask you this, Heto. Hypothetically, had England have won, would the fans still have acted the same?
Yeah, true. Well, they have been acting like that for however long now, yeah?
Exactly.
So,
whether they win or lose, they still act the same, don't they?
Yeah, and it's still not coming home, eh?
No,
it's still not coming home.
It's definitely went to Rome.
It's definitely gone to Rome. Now, also, while Euros have been going on, obviously Ange to Celtic.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about that? It's obviously massive for an Australian coach to get a gig with a big club like Celtic. Okay, yes, everyone will say the league isn't the best. It's just Rangers and Celtic, but Celtic's still a big club, yeah?
Well, they're a Champions League club, and they've been a Champions League club since forever we were born.
Yeah.
I think, and it's very, very hard for an Australian coach to actually get a massive gig overseas. I'm not sure. I can't even remember any names that have done it. I know Kevin Muscat's now moved to Ange's old position.
Yeah, in Japan.
And I think Ange's move to Celtic, I think it's a great move for Aussies in general. I tell you what, for a massive club like Celtic to even consider
And look, let's hope they give him the chance. I know he signed a 1-year deal, but let's hope they're just. And I know the Scotland fans and all that, like the Celtic fans are passionate, right? And they don't. They obviously got done last year by Rangers, so they expect success, right?
Well, Rangers put all their Rangers done really, really well by having Gerrard there, and they gave him time. I'm not sure if they're going to give Ange time because people are already screaming for Martin O'Neill to take over.
And they did want and I know Martin O'Neill. There was talk about him being general manager of football as well, if not taking over. So let's hope. Let's hope Martin O'Neill can get back involved and he can get his Copper Mundials on the sideline again in his tracksuit pants.
He's a quality coach. He's very animatic on the sideline, but also too they haven't given Ange the ability or the funds to get rid of last year's backroom staff and bring in his own, because the whole idea was we heard Kevin Muscat was going, but now he's pretty much stuck with last year's staff. Now we don't know if there's going to be knives in the background, because we all know that a coach is only as good as his backroom staff.
That's right.
You need a team of trust around you, and I just don't know if he's got it just yet.
And Matty Ryan to Real Sociedad.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's massive, hey. It's. I know he's not in the Premier League anymore, and we look at as Australians that the Premier League's obviously number one, and look, it probably is, but Real Sociedad's still a massive club, right?
Huge club, even back in early 2000s and stuff. You're talking Champions League. The caliber of players that have been at that club and been through the club is just absolutely ridiculous. And I think for him to go back to Spain is perfect move for him, because at Arsenal he was always.
Look how happy he is. Look how happy he is, Seva.
Yeah, he's very, very happy. I just think he knows that he can hold down the number one spot there.
Yeah, and look, he's still, we still need him for the Socceroos, right? So we want him playing first team football.
100%. I think there was no doubt that he was always going to be, regardless if he was sitting on the bench, he was always going to be involved as our number one keeper. But having a keeper coming in with 90 minutes under his belt every week, rather than having someone sitting on the bench, is completely different feel.
Yeah, and look, it's something for us to watch again as well, right? Watch him progress and see how he goes.
And he's very adaptable, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. And he's a good fella too. So, Matty, congratulations, pal, and we'll certainly be rooting for you.
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna get some strong opinions from Seva. Hey, you and I have been having some conversations over the last, I guess 18 months as well, right? But especially over the last few weeks, and what we're doing with these couple of episodes, or these while we're in lockdown, anyone who wants to come on, we've got a few guests lined up for some weekend shows that we're going to put on, just to come on and give their opinion. Now, we're also going to get these guys back in studio, right, Seva? So we're going to give them their time and go through their careers once we can get back into studio.
Correct. But
we're also going to ask their opinion on state of the game, whether it's NPL level, A-League level, whatever they want to talk about, and we'll throw our opinions forward. State of the game, where they think the game should be headed, and the grassroots football and how are we producing enough young footballers. And we've spoken to a couple of people on the phone already, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
There's going to be some pretty strong opinions. But hey, we've got a platform, right? And
that's it.
We think we've got. I know you've got some strong opinions on it. We're going to run through it in a sec. But before I get that, we also want to thank Ignify Legal for coming back on for season 2. Ian and the team. We can't thank you enough, mate, and we'll be giving Ian a shout out on our socials as well. And he's a good fella, isn't he, Seva?
Yeah, well, I'd like to thank him personally. I think about a month ago, I was dragged into something which, to be honest, I had no idea what was going on behind the scenes, and he quickly got me out of it. And just to pretty much clear my name, took one little bit of paper and 20 minutes of his time, and I can't thank Ian enough. It was just I just got caught in the crossfires.
Yeah, so Ian, good sponsor to have, Seva, I told you.
When he first came on, I thought, mate, I'm going to need him one day. And it wasn't even my fault what happened. It was just...
Mate, he can't get you out of that haircut, but I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do about that haircut.
No, it's growing. It's a new trend.
Trend.
They cut the electricity as I was halfway through.
That's the old CDR haircut, right?
That's what it is.
1990s, yeah?
Diamante, mate. This is what he... yeah.
How good. All right, Seva, let's hit it. As I said, those conversations we've had, the conversations have been around, I guess, where the A-League's going, where the A-League is headed, and I guess you're good to ask, right? Because you come back from overseas when the Wanderers were first back in. When the Wanderers first came in.
Yeah.
So you have seen, obviously played in the A-League for the Gold Coast, so you have seen it firsthand.
Yep.
And now you're watching it from afar, whether that's on TV or live at the game.
Yep.
It seems to me there's a merry-go-round happening, right? And
all right, if I were to speak open and honest, like everyone's got an opinion, all right? There's two sides of the fence at what people are saying. People are saying that the quality of the A-League has gone down because of no money in the league, all right? Or Foxtel have decided not to promote it on TV. But all that stuff has got nothing to do with the actual players that are contracted and the actual quality that's being put on the field or produced on the field off it, all right? So, I believe... Look, this is not me saying it, but on social media, social platforms, it's been dubbed as the Recycle League. Now, when we mean Recycle League, we mean players have had, in the A-League, I think there's, I'll start with 8 teams. At the start, there was 8 teams. Now it's gone on to how many there is. Some players have had 5 or 6 teams. Now, I know that when I left the Gold Coast, I had a 3-year deal up at Newcastle for it was nearly a $500,000 deal over 3 years. And I turned it down. because I didn't want to be another statistic. At 31 years old, I thought, you know what? I want to go get a job. I want to start my own company. And I want to start life. There's a lot of players that are 25, 30. They're on $60,000, $70,000 a year. And their agents who run the league, they've got certain coaches under their belts. And all they're doing is just literally filtering, recycling. What happens there is, a player that gets sacked from the Mariners, sacked from Melbourne Victory, sacked from Newcastle, then all of a sudden he becomes good for Melbourne City. I don't get that. There's a reason why these players, after 2 clubs, they're not wanted. But so what they do is they halve their salaries to slip into a team that's got room in the cap, and they seem to be 31, 32 years old. They've lost speed, they've lost pace, they've lost want. And they're taking up positions of other players, like young and upcoming players. That's the whole point of the having the youth league coming in now. But you just got these people that are running the game, and whether they like it or not, if they're running the game, they're the ones that are controlling the players, where they go, and they're controlling the coaches and the CEOs as well. So that's not just my opinion. That's the opinion of many people that I speak to. So when you're talking about quality of the game, it's got nothing to do with Fox Sports not promoting it, doing commercials and stuff like that, not knowing when the A-League Grand Final was on. It's got to do with the internals. Who's running the game?
So let's get on to that, right? And we have seen over the last, obviously, It's a rebrand happening. We've got, the club owners sort of running the league now, and we've got, I guess, the A-League moving in a new direction. Channel 10's come on board. There's cash. But
let me just say, that's a perfect example. Now, this money that Channel 10's going to bring in, or this $150 million, whatever, that's still not going to raise the standard of football in the league. You're still going to have the same sort of recycle stuff going around. So that's what I just wanted to put to bed. Fox Sports has nothing to do with the quality of coming out of the game. And neither does Channel 10. They're not going to lift the quality of the game if you still got the same sort of players in circulation.
Yeah, so let me ask you, are you confident that, and we've been to a few games this year, you and I, we've gone to watch some NPL games, right? Is the standard that bad that you couldn't give a young bloke a go from the NPL?
I'm not going to say the standards aren't bad, but I'm going to say that the standards between A-League and NPL is pretty similar. Yep. The only difference is between the two different leagues, okay, when you talk in terms of players, not talking about surrounds and stuff like that, or when they travel hotel. I'm talking that A-League players get the chance to train 5-6 days a week or 5 days a week in a game in a professional environment.
Yeah. So you think in that, if you threw an NPL player into a professional 7 day,
they'd thrive.
Yeah,
they'd thrive.
Yeah,
I've been there myself. I've went from NPL to full time professional overseas, then back again. Like, I've done it. I there's no one that can probably. And
that's what we're asking, right? Because
100%.
You've done it.
100%. Look, you're only as good as the people around you.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure 9 outfield players in the A-League can carry one NPL player.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, they should be able to.
They should be able to. But I'll tell you a few stories that when I was playing in the NPL, I was at Bonnyrigg White Eagles. No A-League team wanted to play us.
Yeah.
Reasons being is because we had a very good team. We had players at Jamie McMaster, who, like myself, we went overseas, Leeds United. We had good players, good pedigree players when we were young kids. We were always in the state teams and everything.
Yeah.
No one wanted to play. You know what their answers were? Because, look, when we eventually get a game against an A-League team, you couldn't tell the difference, eh? If you took the jerseys off us and we both played in skins, you couldn't tell who the A-League team was.
Yeah.
Because we just had quality. Noel Arate, who's an he was the assistant coach of the Mariners.
Yeah.
We had very, very good players. What was happening, they were saying, oh, no, sorry, we don't want to play you guys. This is not the type of game that we want. So basically what they were saying was, it wouldn't look good if an NPL team beat an A-League team.
Yeah, of course.
It wouldn't look good.
And
it would not look good.
You've seen that throughout the FFA Cup, right?
Exactly right. But when I'm talking 10 years ago, 8 years ago, our NPL teams were a lot stronger than the NPL teams now.
Yeah, of course.
And I know referees that are A-League referees now that refereed those games back then, and we joke about it now, and I'd be like, that was a pen. He goes, but Seva, if I gave away pens against certain A-League teams and they went down 4-0 at Bankstown in front of a crowd of 10,000, it wouldn't look good. Frank Lowy wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
So you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm exposing a little bit of things here, but it's the truth because I can say it because I lived it.
Yeah, and
so to answer your question, the standards are pretty similar. The difference is one has probably got a better body fat than the guy who goes and as a tradie and works 8-10 hours a day and goes to training.
Yeah,
that's the difference, Heto.
And look, let's get one thing straight. These are our opinions, right? So, like, we're giving across opinions, and I said it at the start, we're happy for anyone to come on and argue against us, right? We're not forcing our opinions on everyone. We're just having a conversation about this, and you've lived it, right? So, you know exactly what you're talking about.
The beauty is about this, Heto, is we've got a platform now to pretty much. We're not protecting anyone or personal game. I don't have any licenses. I don't want to become a coach. I don't want. It's my opinion.
And it's a conversation starter, right? Because it's actually happening. So we're not calling anyone out here. We're not making massive statements. It's a quick convo, right?
It's just a quick combo. It's just something. Look, people are in lockdown. People just want to hear things, and it is what it is. We're not putting the game into disrepute, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's just an opinion. That's why we jumped on, because we're all bored as hell.
Oh man, tell me about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's I guess from feedback we've had over episodes, people want to hear more from you as well, right?
Yeah.
You've been overseas and. You've come back, you've played in the A-League, you've done the NPL, but what I want to get out, and there's been a few questions thrown at us since we did our very first episode about around your career, and it was around the fact of how the dealings with agents were overseas and in Australia, and I won't. Is it all on the agent or is it all on you? Is it you? Is your agent ringing you saying, "I've got a club here that wants you"? Are you finding that, or what's the like? Can you give us a bit of rundown in regards to, okay, why were you at Millwall? Why did you get to Piacenza? Stuff like that.
Back then it was a different way of sending players overseas. Now it's done pretty much instant via the internet.
Yeah.
Back then you used to have to send a VHS tape over. Got there in 3 weeks. They watched it. It was a month. It was a month-long journey. Just waiting.
Was that an agent? Were you sending that yourself, or did you have an agent?
No, that was my first agent that was here. I was at Marconi at the time.
Yeah.
And I was about to go in my first full proper season as a proper starting 11 player. I think I was 16, 17.
Yeah.
And yeah, to be honest, I couldn't do any more here in the youth team and stuff like that. So an agent over there was back here on holidays, and being at Marconi, I knew a lot of people. A lot of people knew me, and someone just came forward and said, "Look, hey, you just played a Via Reggio tournament. There was, I think, 11 or 13 clubs that wanted me. I think there were 2 English clubs, Sunderland, Newcastle, and then I think there was 8 or 9 Italian clubs. I'm not sure. And then, the buzz was still around. And then they just said to me, "Look, have you got any highlights, anything? We just send that over there rather than sending you on a trial." And this is the funny thing, Heto. I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. I gave them a VHS tape, all right? And it only occurred to me the other day. I gave them a VHS tape when I was playing under 14s, under 15s at Marconi in the youth league.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Now they were sending this overseas to an under 19s tournament. Under 19s, it was a reserve grade.
Yeah,
and they were under 19s.
Yeah, right.
So I was literally, even though I was 16 years old, they were watching vision of a 14, 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, right.
So I was signed. Pretty much, they were watching my highlights as I was 14 years old. So maybe I was ahead of the game. I was 6 years in front of what...
Yeah.
Like, you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what happened. And then I went over there. And just before I signed, I played in a tournament. I think it was called an Asti tournament near Torino.
Yeah.
And I got... I think I think it was 5 or 6 games we played in the space of 10 days. It was a lot of football. But when you're young, you play it. You don't feel it. I got leading goal scorer, played the tournament, and we won it. So it was a grand final sort of thing. And we won it. And even though the deal was already signed and we had already agreed it all, that just rubber stamped it, to be honest. Because it was good for me to have a look at the club internally before I did actually sign. A lot of people they get it wrong, and they go overseas and they just sign, but you don't realise you need to. It's great to see the inside of a club before you put pen to paper, because you're going to spend the next 4 or 5 years there minimum.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly what happened. So the agents played a massive role in all that.
Yeah. That's where we want to take it, right? So you're over there.
Yep.
Yeah, and we've spoken about the dealings through Piacenza and all that. Who then? All right, you're over there for what? You play a certain amount of games. Is it you? Is it you that's getting itchy feet? Or is it your agent tapping you saying, "Mate, you can get more money here"?
It's both, because the first 6 months I was there, I played in the youth team. I remember we played against Juventus, and I scored. I think we were second, first or second at the time. Juventus was like sixth position, and there was us and Empoli. Diamanti was actually playing for Empoli at the time, and we beat Juventus, and I played really well. I scored the goal to make it 1-0. And I think that was a Saturday or a Sunday. The next day, the club came to me and said, "Look, Juventus have put a bid in for you, but we're not going to sell you."
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, wow. I'm like, shit, I've only been here 6 months. Is this how quick you move? Then all of a sudden, I thought that, straight in the first team, it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But then, because in Europe things move fast, and it just didn't move fast enough for me. I got itchy feet. My agents got itchy feet, especially coming from Australia, where you know that no matter what you do, you've got 10, 12 years over Europe before you get back to Australia and retire.
Yeah.
So you're trying to make things happen
back
fast.
then especially, right?
Yeah. So you're trying to make things happen fast and capitalise on everything. And sometimes you push through you ask for situations, they arise, but they just don't follow. They just don't happen, or the agent just can't seal the deal for some reason. Politics get involved. Do
you think it's? I'll ask you this. We're going off on a bit of a tangent here, but do you think it's agents have more of a role in the game now than they did for you back then? And I'll say that in its perception here, right? That it's created in rugby league via agents telling their players to be cranky and drag their knuckles and kick stones so that the coach gets rid of them. Do you think the agents have got a bigger role in what we're doing in the A-League at the moment?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the main reasons why the agents do have a bigger role is because coaches and managers have now got agents themselves. Back in the day, coaches never had agents or managers to look after their careers, to see, hold on, can you put the feelers out, see who's getting sacked? Maybe now every coach has got an agent. So imagine an agent, he's got 12 players under his belt he's got to look after, and he's got 3 coaches under his belt as well. Naturally, he's going to filter those 12 players through those 3 coaches, correct?
Yes, they stay in the game as well, right?
They stay in the game. Agents get sign-on fees. They get spotters fees. So it's a no-brainer. That's why agents, whether we like it or not, even 20 years ago, they are part and parcel of the game. Love them or hate them, players need them, coaches need them, and then they need coaches and players.
And look, this isn't and for anyone watching, don't take it as a stab, as we're having a stab at the agents. This is the conversation, because in fact, agents agents are all part of it, and they're not just helping them secure football contracts. They're helping them secure stuff outside of football too.
Of course.
So,
but you try and make a move without an agent, you can't.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not hitting on agents or anything. Agents are just part and parcel of our game. Everyone needs them. You can't get by without them.
Yeah, and again, it's a conversation, right? Because the media is driving it in all sports at the moment that agents are making players move or whatever.
Look, they know it themselves. They are very powerful. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Because if a coach could, we'll do it in reverse. A coach wants a player that's going to get him 20 goals a season, no matter where in the world, all right?
Yeah.
Now, if they don't get along with a certain agent of a player that they want, they got no chance of getting that player.
Yeah, of course.
You understand?
Yeah.
You're not going to get to the player unless you get to the agent.
Yeah.
So, who does the power lie with? The agent.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, agents, no matter what sport, NFL, anything.
Now
they have the power. They got the power these days.
We're going to get some guests on for this opinion piece moving forward. We will surprise our viewers with some guests as well. We're going to have Pablo Cardozo come on as our first. We're also doing Pablo as a in studio guest, but with our studio. Obviously, we can't get in studio with COVID and coughing on each other and holding hands and shit. That's all weird at the moment, so you can't do that. So we're gonna get Pablo on to chat about just his opinion, state of the game. But I want to ask you, if Asia was as close as it is now back when you played, would you have gone to Europe?
No.
Like I'm looking at it from afar, right? Why would I go to Europe? It just seems football is Australians are more accepted in Asia at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I initially said no.
Yeah.
But I still have to reminisce and think about that when I was a young kid, 11, 10, whatever years old. We grew up watching the Serie A.
Of course.
So we weren't watching.
But what about Daniel Severino, 22 now?
22 now.
Like now, put yourself in. All right, let's put.
If I was 22 and an Italian club came for me, or an Asian club,
you'd still take Italy, right?
Yeah. Come on, yeah.
But
if you had nothing,
I'm talking fullback now. It seems like Asia Asia's the new Europe for our football.
Look, I think when you get to 35, and I'm not just saying this as greed or anything like that. I think when you're younger, you care about where you play. You care about where others think, what others think about where you're playing. But when you get to 35, when you've got kids, you got a family, you got bills to pay, investment properties, and whatever. You look back and you go, who gives a shit where I played? It's about how comfortable I am now. So the money's in the Gulf, the money's in Asia. So when you're 21, 22, 23, I want Europe, I want Serie A, I want English Premier League, but when you're 35, you look back and you go, I should have taken that deal in the UAE. I'd have had an extra 300 or 400 grand in my pocket. I should have went to Asia.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answers your question, but we all,
Look, mate, we're just, as I said, it's just the conversation and those guests coming on of your era, right? They're the sort of guests.
Pablo's going to be a great one because anyone who knows Pablo Cardozo, if you've got certain players that are 22, 23 now that are asking for 450, 500 grand a year in the A-League, like at 22.
Yeah. You'd be paying him
If
double.
Pablo was 22 years old in the A-League right now, he'd be worth $3 million a year.
Yeah.
And that's the truth because Pablo's hitting 20 goals a season, and I don't know what he's on. He's probably just hitting triple figures back then.
Yeah.
I'm talking money-wise. But then you're paying $500,000 for a guy who can't even hit 8 goals?
Yeah.
Like...
And we're going to have some strong opinions from people moving forward. So
we'll give people a platform to write to us and come on because this is what it's all about, eh?
And especially in lockdown, like as I said, my jokes are getting bad. So I'm reading books and all sorts of stuff. So I am going mad, right?
You are going mad.
You're going mad with your haircut, which I'm actually like, wow, you've done pretty well with yourself there.
You don't mind it, eh?
No, I don't mind it at all, Seva. I haven't cut my beard in how long? I need a Michael Klim. Let me tell you, big time. It's more salt and pepper than what's going on.
It's good. It's good we're doing this though, Heto. It's
look, mate.
We need it, eh?
Mate, we had some real good feedback from our first season, and you and I had a convo before lockdown started over a beer about just where season 1 took us and. From our first episode where we literally fumbled over everything to a lot of people getting on board us and asking, like we've been getting a lot of questions in our social media inbox about when it's coming back and we couldn't delay it any longer because...
You can tell the people pretty much we've got... Look, a lot of people say these things, they got massive things, but anything that we've said, we've delivered. But the honest truth is we've got stuff bigger than we've ever thought that could be.
We can't wait to get back into studio. It's not the same online, but
it's not.
Thanks to our main man Jeff, who is now the creative director at Sensor Studios, he's probably making us look even better on online. And you know what? He doesn't have to see it. Well, he has to see it. But he doesn't have to talk to us live, so he can just hang up at any point, no doubt. So. Seva, look, man, thanks for. We started with your opinions, and we'll move forward to some others. But we just wanted to give out our opinions on it. We're going to get some. We're going to throw some other opinions out moving forward.
Can I just butt in there, Heto?
Yes, sir.
Because we talk about everything. We're not just predominantly a football podcast.
Absolutely.
Right? Talk to a lot of people. We know a lot of people in league as well. I want to ask your opinion.
Mine.
Yeah, on something.
Yeah, go.
All right. I get this. I've been getting this a lot, but Mitchell Moses.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of people.
Did they play in? I'll put it in football terms. Did they play with a false 7? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So what it is? A lot of people have said, like we watch, Bloke in a Bar and all that, and Finchy and that, and he jumped on his bandwagon. And I think he's got a good point. A lot of people, they might just not like the look of the bloke or whatever like that, but to come in to a team and do what he did on that last Origin game, it's pretty quality, man. Because the line rushes at you so fast. Like you don't forget the kicks he put in, and a lot of people reckon, they didn't win the game, but they don't realise how hard it is. And
if yes, 100%, and they went at him, and yes, they went at him pretty hard, right? Social media gives a platform for all dickheads to do what they want, right? it gives blokes the chance that haven't been tackled a chance to throw their opinions out, right?
Yeah.
I take it back to those boys that stood up and took the pens for England too, right?
Yeah.
Who at their age is going to stand up and take the pens, right? Yeah. Probably no one. Yeah, all those blokes. There's a reason they're sitting in the stands, and I'll give Mitchell Moses a rap. I didn't think he did too bad. I listened to Brandy and Freddie, their communication about it, and they said he made all his tackles. Yeah. Now it's come out he played 70 minutes with a broken back.
Yes.
Right?
This morning.
So, is he? I think he was on a hiding to nothing, right? Cleary's been dominating. Penrith at the top of the table.
Yeah.
We've won by 70-odd points. Mate, I think he was on a hiding to nothing, and I think he held his hands up, and he had a good crack. And
the one that better. What about Coruscant's one?
Yeah, mate, it was a good try, wasn't it?
It was a great try, but if he didn't put the kick in, Coruscant would never ran there, correct?
No, and mate, I think he
to catch the ball with the line rushing at you that quick, looking one way, feeding it the other. Come on.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean,
mate. Origin's the pinnacle of rugby league.
Yeah.
Right, and it's his first game. He's on debut. I'll ask you the question: when you debuted at 16, was that your best game?
No chance.
In the NSL?
No chance.
No chance, right?
No chance.
There's millions of eyeballs on him, and he stood up, you know. And look, moving forward, we've got some good guests coming on in the rugby league circles as well to ask those questions about as well, right?
Yeah.
That we'll be able to say, hey, it's not as easy as it looks on TV.
Mate, it's so hard because you got options, you got guys calling the plays, and people wanting the ball.
I get it from a media point of view, right? That they're asking Freddie questions about why. Freddie's made it, and to Freddie's credit, he made the call and he stuck by it.
Yes.
Right? Yep. He's the gaffer. Well, he's the coach. Sorry, and he's got to live and die by his decisions. The hype around it seems like we lost 3-0 the series, but we won 2-1, right?
I know. They forget the fact that the game was wrapped up 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And you know what it's like. You go into a game where you've already won something, you're not going to, you might not try as hard.
You might not try as hard. Don't forget, he had the halves. He had who I think was Crichton with him. You know what I mean?
Jack Whiten.
That's right. Yeah, Whiten. So they'd never played together before.
Yeah.
They never played together before, combos and stuff like that. So I don't know what people. Yeah, it's just an opinion, but yeah, that's why I just wanted to ask you about it because a lot of people are condemning him and stuff like that. But it's so hard to jump into an atmosphere like that where it's so fast paced. Don't forget, it's Origin as well.
Yeah, mate.
It doesn't slow up. It gets quicker and quicker as the game gets on because there's more holes opening up.
100%. And you know what? We're happy to have him on to let him defend himself. We won't rip into him either, Moses. So if you want to jump on at any time, no doubt this will find you because we're massive.
Yeah, we're huge. We're huge. Hold on, he's calling me now. He's calling me now.
No doubt he's going to get on this and go, fuck, you blokes are all right. I might jump on. 2 blokes with mad haircuts.
Yeah, that's it.
But, yeah, and moving forward, once we get back in the studio, we have got some guests from other sports other than football. Obviously, football is our forte and what we know best. But we're also
we've got many friends in many different codes.
Yeah, in many different sports. So we're going to have a crack and we're going to do some other stuff and see where we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Seva, brilliant pal. Go and look after that family and finish that deck and homeschooling.
Yep. Mate.
Untie. Is the dog still barking, or have you stopped the dog? I can see.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Open the gate and let him run off.
He's gone.
Jeff, super mate, thanks for organising this, and we hope that I know it's not in studio, and we hope people that are watching or listening can still get around us and enjoy what this is bringing. We still will do our in-studio guests, but while we're in lockdown, we're going to do these short episodes, throw some opinions out, and get some different guests on, and let's have a crack at some opinion stuff, Seva.
Definitely. Let's go. Let's do it.
So thanks again to Sensor Studios, Jeff Lambert. So Sensor Studios, we'll throw it on our socials. Any of your live streaming, photography, videography needs, podcasting like this, your man, mate, you're in lockdown, dead set. You need NBN. Jump on board. Tell them Heto and Seva sent you, mate.
Yeah,
You've got
I
it.
changed over, yeah.
Yeah, that's how good it is. Look at Seva's head. It's perfect.
Best transfer ever made.
Ignify Legal. So, Ian, you've got Seva. Seva can show you how good Ignify Legal is. So,
cheers,
Ian, thank you, pal. And also, congratulations to Ian and his wife on their newborn as well. So, well done there. But thanks, Seva.
Cheers, Heto. Thanks.
We'll move forward, and we'll see you guys in a few days.
See you guys.